run between the wickets very, very well. Kushal Patel and Rohit Patel. After 6 overs, Nepal 39 for 1. The power play is done. This is the highlights of the power play. The first wicket to go, Asif Sheikh, trapped in front. 2 sixes by Kushal Patel. And 2 boundaries by Rohit Patel. It was a mixed bag power play for both the teams.
Yeah, good acceleration though from Nepal. They benefited from that. It was a slightly loose over from Navin Raj. A couple of good balls in there, but you saw the drag down to the leg side, then the drag down outside the offside, has given Nepal enough flexibility to be not displeased with their position. 39 for 1, and that's the general scene here at the Oman Cricket Academy. It's a fantastic facility. One thing to keep your eyes on, you just have a look at the big screen there, the top left, that's counting up towards 60 seconds. Something that Kent Allen was good enough to tell me about in between the break. It's not actually a fielding penalty that applies if you, on 3 separate occasions, are given a warning by the umpire. The third time will be a 5-run penalty to the batting team. So the teams have to be quick in between their overs. It's to keep the pace of play going, something that's been trialled and now implemented permanently by the ICC. This one is cut away for what will be for a nice outswinger, but it was a bit of a loosener, and Powell gets on top of the bounce and guides it away pleasingly.
That was a very good square drive by Rohit Patel, leaning to the shot, getting the placement right behind square on the offside. The third man fielder had no chance. Even the sweeper cover didn't have chance to stop that.
Not sure if you caught the Stuart Law interview with the Hamro Khelkhud team who are out here, Subhash Mungan and his colleagues, providing great coverage of the tournament to all those across Nepal. That was, I think, 48 hours before the start of the competition. It starts against the West Indies, but second warm-up match.
That happens to it.
And he was asked about a lack of runs for Rohit Powell.
It doesn't
and it was a pretty stern answer, wasn't it, from the Australian head coach? He said, "We have got nothing to worry about our captain. He will contribute absolutely when he needs to. He can somehow get a single when the side needs it. Can turn his strike between the wickets as well. If Dipender Singh Iree comes to the crease, he got a couple of starts against the West Indies, but really big scores. Patel, Iree are lightning, aren't they? And that's probably the brand of cricket.
It doesn't matter if you don't score
young
runs
Nepali players
until and unless the team is winning. The head coach wants very quick in between the wickets. And
good length this time from Anudeep.
These 3 fielders
somehow they get a single. The only way these two can get quicker between the wickets is if Dipender Singh Iree comes to the crease, but the 3 of them really, Powell, Patel, Iree, are lightning, aren't they? And that's probably the brand of cricket that Stuart Law wants these young Nepali players to play.
That is what the head coach wants. Very quick in between the wickets, and even in fielding,
probably well
these
over
3 fielders are the best
international matches now. I've never seen a better fielding performance than that one 10 days ago in
Georgia. Not only associate,
yes,
full members of the second game. It was a massive
short wide cut away again, just going to be a single. They put on a clinic in that second T20. I was doing a little wrap up of the series with our colleague Sharad Vasakar, and beats the outside edge. Now Anudeep was the hero in that final well over 1,000, over 1,500 international matches. Now I've never seen a better fielding performance than that one 10 days ago in Georgia.
Yes,
he's got a track record,
a good
track record
against Nepal. Massive fielding effort by all the fielders.
4 wickets.
All 11 fielders in the field. Outswing. His pitching is good. He bowls back up the length.
It's the outside edge. Now Anudeep was the hero in that final between Kuwait and Nepal back in Hong Kong. I think he picked up 4 wickets that evening. And he's got a track record, a good track record against Nepal. Not easy, but a definite chance. He gets a hand on it.
He has a good outswing.
Given that he was following through to his left, he hits a dive to his right. I think it's an outstanding effort.
That express
nearly would have been as good a caught and bowled as you'll ever want to see, but he can't hold on.
Patel tried to turn his bat, got the leading edge, got the half of the bat. It was
now half a chance. Not easy, but a definite chance. He gets a hand on it.
7 overs.
And, given that he was following through to his left, he hit a dive to his right. I think it's an outstanding effort.
His position
nearly would have been as good a cut and bowled as you'll ever want to see, but he can't hold on.
As low as 7, depending upon the situation.
Tried to turn his bat.
Requires the only thing that they've done
half of the bat. It was a terrific effort
carrying the KC today. Maybe just extend that tail a little bit.
7
and
overs done.
Sampal
Nepal
Kami
46
is
for
high
one.
enough up there. It's the batting
At
card.
number 8.
Likely was
Forfeit,
Kushal Mala at number 4.
Chantamara
Sandeep
took that. It's actually
Jora,
3 for
his
3 for
position in the
18,
order
but
can
he
be a bit
was named the
flexible.
player of the match.
Should come in at 5 or even down as low as 7, depending upon the
Navin Raj with
situation.
his kind of mixed
That it
bag of
requires.
tricks,
The
not just
only
leg
thing that
breaks,
they've
bit of
done
everything.
by
His
going
delivery is going to continue
without carrying
and he
KC
now
today,
has that
maybe
relief
just
from
extend that
fielders
tail a
inside the
little
circle,
bit.
having bowled his first over in the power play.
Sampal Kami
He
is
looks
high
like
enough
a
up
wrist
there
spinner, but he
at
bowls
number 8. Wasn't 4
4 or
for
5 different deliveries.
Chantamara
His
took it that
fingers
far. It was
with
actually
his
3
wrist.
for 3 for 18, but he was named the player of the
T20
match.
cricketer, isn't it? What they do.
As
It's the leg
Navin
break
Raj
and
can
his
get
kind of
straight
mixed
through
bag
him.
of tricks, not
Brilliantly
just leg
bowled.
breaks, bit of everything.
It's the drift and then his the delivery dip that's is going to accounted for continue, Robert Powell, and he
who
now
ends
has
up
that
losing
relief
his
from
leg
5
stump. It
fielders
was
outside the
perfectly
circle,
pitched.
having bowled
There
his
was a
first
threat of
over in
this
the
in the
power play.
previous over.
He looks like a
Powell
wrist spinner,
couldn't
but
pick
he
up the
bowls
Yorker, and Navin Raj
4 or 5 different
spears it in there
deliveries
to
with his
find
fingers,
Q8
with his
second.
wrist.
Excellent bowling.
The modern T20 cricketer, isn't it?
Ball
What they do.
into the
That's the leg break
right-hander.
and gets straight through him.
Into
Brilliantly
the decent
bowled.
leg stump.
It's the drift
Rohit
and then the
Paudel, after
dip
getting
that's
a start,
accounted for
he
Rohit
has to
Paudel,
part again.
who ends up losing his leg
16
stump. It
deliveries
was
with 3
perfectly
fours.
pitched. There was a threat of this in the previous over where Paudel couldn't pick up the Yorker, and Navin Raj spears it in there to find Q8 second. Excellent bowling.
It was a very clever piece of bowling. And
Speared in the ball.
I know he's not
drifting
necessarily
into
trying to
the
hit this to
right
square
hander,
leg, but again, it's a batter
into the
playing
base of
across
leg
the line.
stump.
Look at where he's trying to hit this
Rohit
ball.
Paudel, after
As
getting
the
a
bat
start,
comes down, it
he
will
has to
twist
depart
towards
again.
the leg
16
side
of 15
with a
deliveries
crooked
with
bat,
3 fours.
and we've seen anyone try to play across the line. I know he's been yorked this time. Across the afternoon game, the evening game here at the main ground,
Nepal,
has
46
got
for 2.
themselves into trouble. Maybe a bit of
It was a
something
very
for
clever
Paudel
piece
to
of
work
bowling
on
there
there.
just to look more
I
straight
know he's
down the
not
ground.
necessarily trying to hit
Undone
this
by a
to
wonderful
square
piece
leg,
of
but
bowling.
again, it's a
And no
batter playing
surprise
across
to
the
see that
line.
it's
Look
a
at where he's trying to
left-hander
hit
come
this
to the
ball.
crease.
As the bat
to give
comes
a
down,
left-hand,
it will
right-hand
twist towards
combination
the
to help
leg
Nepal
side
with
with a
Kushal
crooked
Mala,
bat.
the youngster
We've seen
recalled
anyone
for the
try to
West
play
Indies
across the line. I
series
know he's been
and
yorked
showed
this
some
time
good touch there.
across
Obviously
the
he's playing
afternoon
down
game,
the
the
top
evening
end
game here
T20
at the
as well.
main
The
ground.
international
Has
end,
got themselves into trouble.
T20 eyes
Maybe a
recalled
bit
in
of
for that
something
after
for
missing out
Paudel
in
to work
Scotland.
on there, just to
He'll
look
have a big
more
role to play
straight
at
down
number
the
4.
ground. Undone by a wonderful piece of bowling, and no surprise to see that it's a left-hander come to the crease to give a left-hand right-hand combination to help Nepal with Kushal Mala, the youngster recalled for the West Indies series and showed some good touch there. Obviously was playing down in the top end T20 as well, but from the international end, T20 eyes recalled in for that after missing out in Scotland. He'll have a big role to play at number 4.
Yeah, this is a good move by the coach, sending in Kushal Mala, the left-hander, to face the leg spinner and the left-arm orthodox, because Kuwait has plenty of left-arm options.
Slip comes into place, and again it's the leg break. Not really a spinning leg break, is it? It's going to skid on, but it's the drift that he's getting that will cause problems.
That is what Rohit Paudel could manage, the drift. He yorked himself. He tried to play across the line. He could have played it straight.
A little shorter, which will allow Mala to get off the mark. Cheer from the Nepal fans. Will Bertel attack Navin Raj here with the field out, or happy to work it around for the moment?
Well, I think he'll be happy to work it around. Just give the strike to Kushal Mala, who's a left-hander.
If you're wondering, the average first innings score here at this venue, about 151. So that's an average, obviously a cumulative across, I think it's over 67, maybe 68 if you include this afternoon's match today at this venue. Oh, now this is close, but a bit of bat involved will keep Kushal Bertel's wicket intact. Great move from Mohammad Aslam to keep Navin Raj on after an expensive first over.
Yes, a wicket already in this over and just a single given away. I'm very impressed with Aslam's captaincy, how he rotates his bowlers.
Oh, it's again that Yorker. Nepal are just not picking it up. It's a single and a wicket in the over. 8 have been bowled. 47 for 2. The night sky across the Oman Cricket Academy as you look at the bowling card. Just the 4 used thus far. Keep your eyes on Mohammad Aslam bringing himself into the attack at some point. Kushal Mala's role will be to sort of take him down if he can, and then there are plenty of other bowling options too. They won't have any shortage of those. For Nepal, it's a sort of tricky position here, isn't it? Under the floodlights, under a bit of pressure, going at a run of ball, thereabouts. They don't want to kind of get bogged down. They need to keep accumulating runs through these middle overs.
And they have to do that if they want to post a healthy total or respectable totals, let's say around 140 to 150. That can be a defendable total.
Slip comes into place. Sander Owan there. Immediately trying to attack Kushal Malla, and Mohamed Aslan, the captain, on the hunt for wickets. This is good proactive captaincy, something we maybe didn't see as much from Qatar in the afternoon game, who really just kind of went through the motions once the power play was done. They fought hard, yes, but they kind of went to set plans. Bit of innovation here from Kuwait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fielders up in the circle, including that slip.
Yeah, Kushal Malla just in after the wicket of Rohit Paudel. This is a very good move.
And causing a few problems. They'll know that Mala's much more devastating against spin, particularly left arm spin. That's his bread and butter, what he adores. But even just 2 or 3 overs of keeping things tight as we look at the field here will really aid Kuwait, although the slip now comes out of place and comes into probably a close catching mid-wicket.
I think Kushal Malla, he hasn't read the pace of the wicket. That is why he's getting those inside edges, under edges, not timing the ball well. Whereas Kushal Paudel has recognized the pace of the wicket.
Really good fielding, outstanding diving stop. Sander Owan getting his body on the line and heaping the pressure onto Malla. Now 1 off 5.
3 dot balls on a trot. Puts pressure on Kushal Malla. This is very good bowling by Anudeep. Into his second over, only 7 runs given away.
Will allow Malla to get off strike, but Bertel has just been a bit shy of strike, hasn't he, the last 3 or 4 overs? Kuwait getting the squeeze on very effectively outside the power play.
Yeah, that is because they have 5 fielders inside the circle, even though the power play is off. They want to take wickets, they want to put pressure on Nepali batters. That's very good captaincy.
Yeah, if you're just wondering about the warm-up games for both these sides, we spoke a little bit about that in the afternoon as well. Kuwait's got a win. It was a tight win over the hosts Oman. They won by 3 wickets on the 3rd of October. That was end of last week. And this one's punched down the ground. And then in their second warm-up game, they also got a win. That was over Qatar by 34 runs. Probably a slightly more impressive performance. Meet Bhavsar, who's such an incredible batter at the top of the order. He made 65. For Nepal, pretty much smooth going, and they'll be happy with their 2 performances. They were very comfortable victors over Oman, who only made 110 against them. Dipender Singh Airi in the wickets, Asif Sheikh in the runs, and then they also got a 16-run victory over Qatar. It was probably a bit more than that because the second innings they just rotated their bowlers around. Kushal Patel was in the runs that night. As Malla misses out, it'll be given as a wide just outside that guideline. In both games, Sandeep Lamachani played, and in both games in the wickets. So, given all of the, I suppose, the media talk and the unknown quantity around why he wasn't playing the games against the West Indies, didn't play any of the 3, that's a really good sign for Nepal.
Yeah, it's a very good sign. Amongst the wickets in the warm-up games, Sandeep Lamachani is a world-class operator. This is a very good over by Anudeep.
And Nepal are just happy to work it around. The 50 has come up, and at the end of the 9th, 1 more over to the drinks break. It's 51 for 2. Very good evening to you all watching the coverage. Great to have you alongside us. I know we'll have messages from all over the world, particularly when Nepal play. We tend to hear from their diaspora, not just in Australia, but in places like Japan and Korea. All across the Gulf here, we see the fans in the house, back in beautiful Nepal, and then in Europe and the Americas as well. There'll be people either staying up late in Australia, I suspect, or getting up very early on the west coast of America. So welcome to the coverage. You've got Andrew Leonard here alongside Paresh Lahani. Great to be with you. Paresh, everything we've seen across these first 9 overs, It's basically what we thought in the run-up to this tournament. No wins are going to come easy. Every game is going to have a few twists and turns, a bit of drama in it, and it's going to be a very, very tightly fought qualifier from start to finish. Do you even see any of the teams going unbeaten here?
No, I don't, because it's a very tight schedule. Tight. I mean, all the teams can beat any team in a particular day.
I think if you look at it as well, I know the rankings are always only a barometer or a guider, if you will. As Bertel cuts this away, but a good stop. Doesn't just save the boundary, but saves a single as well. UAE are top of the charts with their ranking. They're up with 179 points and 15th place in the world. So you can say that they're rightly the favourites, but equally they didn't qualify for the last T20 World Cup. That one nearly chipped back at the bowler. Then Nepal in 18th, Oman in 20th, Papua New Guinea 21st, Kuwait 23rd. So there's actually only 5 places separating Nepal and Kuwait in the rankings. Then we got Malaysia 25th, Qatar 30th, and a bit of a gap to Japan 44th and Samoa 69th, the underdogs of the tournament, who lost this morning against Oman. But the rankings matter for nothing, particularly in these pathway events. It's all about the pressure. It's all about can you adjust and cope with that pressure. And Nepal are having plenty of pressure applied to them right now. And they don't look comfortable out there. This is good bowling from Kuwait.
Yeah, it's exceptionally good bowling from the start by the Kuwaiti bowlers. And talking about pressure, every team, they play under pressure in the for the qualification. It is the qualifiers. That is why the extra pressure is being given to the team.
Just so much on the line, isn't there? It's everything or nothing. Oh, it's another one, and it's the Yorker. It's a specialised delivery that Navin Raj is targeting, and Nepal at the moment don't have an answer to it. It did Rohit Powdell, not once but twice. The second one bowled him. It did Bertel once that just missed, and now it's accounted for Kushal Malla. Outstanding bowling, and again it's speared in and it hits the off stump.
Yeah, this was not a leg spinner, it was a seam-up delivery. Actually, it was an in-swinger for the right-hander and an out-swinger for the left-hander into the block hole base of off-stump. Kushal Malla has to depart for 4 of 9 deliveries. And it's time for a drinks break, and we'll take a break here in the commentary box. Back live now. Kushal Malla was clean bowled by Naveen Raj has taken 2 wickets already.
Well, they're gone with Sundeep Jora at number 5. Plenty of options. I did wonder whether or not they might replace one left-hander with the other and go with Gulshan Jha. Instead, they're going to go with Jora, who had one outstanding performance in that West Indies series himself. It gets us to the halfway stage of this first innings, and Kuwait will be the happier of the two sides in a very strong position. They have 3 wickets, and Nepal have just 53 runs. Well, whoever the DJ is, they know how to play to the majority of the crowd. Mata Dale Dale rings out around the Oman Cricket Academy. That was a blockbuster hit last year, wasn't it, Paresh, back in Nepal?
Yes, it was. There's a bowling change. Shiraj Khan Sharif is the new bowler.
Another one of the options with the spinners, Shiraz Khan. Beautiful bowler to watch, much more classical leg spinner than that of Naveen Raj. Yeah, Mata Dale Dale by Shantarani Pariyar. Felt like that was almost on repeat at the Nepal Premier League last year at points.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, really, really catchy. It's just maybe the catchiest song I reckon I've ever heard, that one. Even been known to sing along to it. No dancing though, Paresh. Definitely no dancing. Can't be doing that. Short and wide and cut away. Should get a couple here as Bertel's very quick. They might even think of a third with the misfield, but no. They will stick to 2. For Nepal from this position, where exactly do you think they can drive up to, Paresh?
Well, they need partnership. Not only a partnership, but they need boundaries as well to get to a respectable total. Losing the toss and put to bat. Shiraj Khan Sharif, he's a proper leg spinner who bowls with the wrist.
He gets good turn, doesn't he? He really does, and as a consequence, anyone who gets good revs on the ball will always get good drift. So he'll drift it into the right-handers and turn it away. I do think Jora's played very well and 100% deserves his spot in this 11, but also up the order at number 5. But I just wonder whether or not they could have gone with a left-hander. Rashid Riaz not happy with the fielders in the deep, and having a long chat with the skipper Mohammad Aslam, who's at cover, just saying he does not want the throws to be coming in off the turf. Khan was interested there. They'll get a single. With Nepal's bowling depth, 140 could be enough, but it's not going to be comfortable.
Like I said, for the cushion, they need at least 150 on board.
Yeah, fascinating periods of the game. Again, the drifting, you can see it through the air. But not just to the game, Paresh, but because of the structure, I'm just going to repeat it again, only 2 group games. You lose both your group games, you're gone home. You're back on a plane to either Kuwait or to Kathmandu. If you win one, you can go through, but there are scenarios where each of the 3 sides could win one, then it will come down to net run rate. As the sweep shot comes out, but there is protection out there. So because of that format, you have to get off to a good start. And then with you carrying the points through, as we've seen in most Super 6 structures, end of the 11th at 60 for 3, it's just so important to try and win your first 2 group games. I know it sounds like we're banging a drum again and again here. The Manhattan has shown not too much outside of those 2 good overs at the end of the power play. If you do lose your first one to Kuwait here, and you're a Nepal fan, you're thinking we're in real trouble.
Yes, you'll be in real trouble because you're playing against Japan the other game, and you'll be under pressure.
So we spoke about the skipper and his skills, fine leader. Also got a new bit of facial hair What do you reckon on the moustache, Paresh?
It looks a bit different. with
Looks
the
good, doesn't
moustache.
it? Yeah, big fan of that. Good work from Mohammed Aslam. Not into November yet. There is the Movember charity. Well, he starts with a real loose one. And Bertel, because he'd come down, I think if he'd stayed where he was, he could have helped that round the corner for 4. Mohammed Aslam gets away with it somewhat. A little bit like what we saw from Mujibur Rahman earlier for Qatar. Will come wide of the crease, quite round arm.
Yes, it's similar action like Mujibur Rahman of Qatar. Similar action, similar point of release, side arm.
As a consequence, won't get much turn. Will challenge the inside edge of the bat as much as the outside. Really round arm that time. One of the, I think it's 3 players in this Kuwait squad with Sri Lankan origin and heritage. Rajiva Sandarawan as well, and Mohammed Aslam, both having played some first-class cricket back in Sri Lanka, but he's been a fine captain for this Kuwait team. You spoke about how you quite fancy the UAE, Nepal and Oman as the 3 qualifiers. If there is someone to upset those 3, you think it would be Kuwait?
It's absolutely, because they are underdogs coming into the tournament. Like in T20, you never know what team will beat which team.
Down the track, and it's going to be stumped. Brilliant from Mohammed Aslam. He's pumped up. Marvellous glove work as well to go with it from Usman Patel. And it's such a clever piece of bowling. Beaten on the inside edge. Jora's almost expected some turn, and there's no doubt now that Nepal are in real trouble. They've lost a 4th wicket, and Jora, who was so good against the West Indies, he's got to walk back.
Yes, it's not a good sign to come down the track for a quick delivery like that. Beating the inside edge of the bat. A good glove work by the keeper there. Easy decision to be made by the umpire. Sandeep Zora has to depart for 5.
Yeah, real trouble now. 63 for 4 Nepal, and you can just see the body language there. Just get one more look. See the way it skids on here. Doesn't turn, and look at which side of the bat it beats. It goes in between the bat and the pad, just as we were talking about him challenging the inside edge. He's done that so well. You always take a risk using your feet against any spinners. And he's probably not the right kind of spinner to come down to, because it's such a flat trajectory. Jora, he played with fire there to a certain extent, and he got burnt.
Yes, he actually did. Now comes in Dipender Singh Airi.
This for me is a surprise. You've got a leg spinner and a left arm spinner bowling in tandem. Has to be Gulshan Jah for me. Instead they've gone with Irie, so 2 right-handers come together, and I think Kuwait will be elated with that. They'll see that as an opportunity to continue to bowl some dot balls and build some pressure.
Yeah, I was expecting Gulshan Jah to come in after Sandeep Zora got out. Again, flatter through the air. Wonderful fielding of his own bowling. Mohammad Aslam, the captain, leading from the front. 3 runs and a wicket in this over. 12 gone. Nepal 63 for 4. It's going to be Shiraj Khan to continue. 7 runs given away in his first over. This is his second, the 13th of the innings. Nepal in trouble, 63 for 4.
Difficult position here for Nepal. They've got to scrap up to some kind of a total. They do bat a long way down, but the pressure is just being applied ever so well by Kuwait spinners. Could have a dramatic upset. A big turn up for the Bucks in the opening day. We nearly had one at stages, that UAE versus Qatar contest, but in the end the Emiratis class showed Nepal have it all to do from here.
They have. I think the wrong choice of batters to be sent. Like you said, Lenny, left arm orthodox and leg spinner bowling. A left-hander should be the case.
Yeah, for me, I cannot get my head around that. However well Dipender Singh plays, and he's so quick between the wickets, he finds a way to get to there. Most people it would have been a single for, but Bertel's quick too. I just think you have to go to Gulshan Jah to take on the bowlers. Look at the running between the wickets. Irie's in fourth gear there. He's not even close. He jogged the second bit of that second run. Remarkable speed. He's a dynamite. You cannot take your eyes off him. Now, good squeezing in the ring. Single saved.
Yes, that's very good fielding. And the last, the 2 runs that they took, the ball hardly crossed the 30-yard circle.
Got to give you one quick update. Paresh, you're talking about that ICC Women's Cricket World Cup game in Colombo earlier, and how Australia were in such trouble. This is driven away for what might only be the single. Good line run by the fielder. At one stage, 76 for 7 in the 21st over. They somehow batted through the innings. Beth Mooney made 109, posted 221, and it looks like it's going to improve too much for Pakistan. So Nepal fans will be hoping that there's no upsets today, as it looks like Australia women will be more than good enough to beat Pakistan. The question will be, can Nepal beat their lower ranked opposition here? At the moment, they're looking in real trouble. They're only going at a fraction over 5 runs per over. They've got 7 overs left to work with. Where are the runs coming from?
One of these batters have to take a risk, score boundaries every over, couple of boundaries every over, if they want to score, let's say, around 140 to 150 runs. They have to start it now.
Good from Irie, reading the fact that the ball's not going to turn, and happy to punch it down the ground for one. Bertel, for some reason, across the last 6 or 7 overs, has barely faced a ball. He seems like he's just not getting the strike. As a consequence, just lost his rhythm a touch in his innings. Will pick up a couple here.
A good running again. Purtel just trying to stretch his calves.
Real drag down, and gets away with it a little bit, does Mohammad Aslam. Didn't quite pick the length up there, Bertel. Would have thought he would have gone to the power pull shot. Big gap between long on and deep mid wicket, probably 45-50 yards between them. Nepal just not able to find the boundary at the moment.
Already playing down the ground, looking for the second, but it's not on. Purtel, 37 of 37 run a ball innings.
Haven't hit a boundary since the first ball outside the power play, Nepal. So that's, well, best part of 8 overs now without a boundary. And however difficult and tricky the batting conditions are, you can't afford to do that in T20 cricket. They've got to take some risk here and find out a zone to target. They're rebuilding with 1s and 2s, that's fine, but need to find the rope with some regularity to go with that. No real sign of a boundary coming yet, despite 7 runs coming from the 14th over. It is 74 for 4. Spoke about that depth in Nepal's batting. Gulshan Jah will certainly be in at 7 now, but don't have Karen KC. Nandan Yadav might come in above Kami and Lamachani, depending upon the situation.
He might, if you need quick runs from his bat, he might come in front of Sandeep Lamachani. But I don't think he'll come ahead of Sompal Kami. Sompal Kami is a good hitter of the ball.
I don't think he's quite as big a hitter as Nandan Yadav. Nandan Yadav seems to me to have a bit of X factor, almost feels very much like the heir apparent to Karen Casey's throne whenever Casey decides to call time in his illustrious career, which has been, well, just draped in glory, the folk hero, the original hero in many ways, alongside the likes of Paris Kadka and Basanta Regmi. and Shakti Gauchan and so many others, Binod Das, who will be watching on from all across the world. There is a challenge here for Nepal. And it's exactly what they would have expected from Kuwait. They will have not underestimated their opposition in any way, shape or form. If they can only get 130, do you still think they'll have enough with their attack to restrict Kuwait?
Well, they'll have to bowl really well to defend 130 odd runs. They have the bowlers.
Oh, diving effort and a sparkling effort to the highest quality. The skipper, Mohammad Aslam, flying through the air, much like Zishan Maqsood or maybe Aki Bilias have done for Oman in those World Cups. This would have been one of the best catches of all time. Oh, great effort.
Diving to his right. It would have been the catch of the tournament so far.
Oh, boy, I think it would have stayed the catch of the tournament to go with it. I don't really want to call that a drop catch. I actually think he saved 3 there with the dive. He's so close in at cover too. The full toss from Shiraz Khan has only cost a single.
Yeah, all the bowlers have bowled pretty well here for Kuwait. The captain, Mohammad Aslam, rotating his bowlers quite well.
Inside edge, and yeah, Bertel is, well, he's playing the anchor, but he just hasn't found any rhythm outside of the power play. There's a bit of a flourish towards the end of it, but it still remains the fact that the final boundary, or the last boundary that was hit in this innings, came off delivery 6.1, 8.5 overs ago. So a real dearth of finding the rope for Nepal. Yeah, this third and final match starting at 7 p.m. local time, Paresh, played entirely under the floodlights, so there shouldn't be a difference in the conditions for the two sides, you wouldn't think?
No, I don't think there'll be any different conditions under lights. It's all about the approach and
punched into the leg side again. It's just a single. They are scoring off every ball, but really it's just ones and the occasional 2. 6 come from the 15th. It's 80 for 4. Nepal have it all to do here in the final 5. And you'll see here in the Manhattan, since that the boundary was actually hitting the 7th over, so 6.1 on the scorecard, but then he pulled back the rest of that over to Danu Deep with just 3 more singles from it. They haven't hit a boundary, and as a consequence there are no big overs. The only 2 with double digits, overs 5 and 6.
That shows how well the Kuwaiti bowlers have bowled. Now Yashin Patel back into the attack. If they can score around 45 to 50 runs in the last 5, they might take it.
Yeah, well, I suppose for Nepal it's about trying to find a way to get 10 and over off the last 5. 10 and over from here gets you up to 130. It's not par, it's 20 runs under the average at this venue, but it's something. And they've got 6 wickets in hand. You have to take some risk now. I understand the consolidation and the rebuild here, and Bertel moves into the 40s. But Irie, we know his pedigree at this ground. He famously hit those 6 sixes against Qatar in the ACC Premier. They've got to have a go now, and they've got to start finding the rope. 1s and 2s aren't going to be enough in the final 5.
This is excellent bowling by Yashin Patel. Just a single given away in every delivery. Like you said, Lenny, the last boundary came in the 7th over. Now it's the 16th over. Very good bowling by Yashin Patel. Over pitched into the block hole. Just a single. This is exceptional by Kuwait.
Yeah, really good stuff from Kuwait there, continuing to twist the knife. You'd just like to see Nepal try something. Is it coming down the track? Is it looking for a slog sweep? Is it looking to reverse sweep, hit with the spin? But they have to take some risk to find boundaries here. 1s and 2s not enough.
Again, just a single.
Kuwait are just doing all the basics right. Very few extras. Impressive bowling. Generally fielded pretty well. And even though Nepal are running well between the wickets, ones are not enough. 16 bowled, another 6 runs from that over. It's 86 for 4. Only 4 remain. And the fate of this game, it's hanging in the balance. And as a consequence, with the structure of this tournament, the fate of the campaign for Nepal's qualification hangs in the balance on the first night of the tournament. And I have no doubt that Stuart Law will be acutely aware of that. We see Nick Pothas return as a consultant coach, Gyanendra Malla there in the centre of the shot, the former captain, and some of the subfielders, Lalit Rajbanshi and Asif Sheikh, sitting together. They're trying to stay positive, but it's a nervy-looking Nepal bench.
Yes, it's a nervy look. 86 for 4 in 16 overs, just 4 overs remain. They have to take risk now. Still 6 wickets in hand. They have to take risk.
Now, Shiraz Khan is going to bowl the 17th, and I think this is going to be a warning here. They're past the 1 minute. Rashid Riaz is... Don't think we've seen a warning yet. That will be the first warning, I suspect. They're well past the 1 minute that they need to bowl. They're over in between. They do that twice more. That will be a 5-run penalty. Keep your eyes on the umpires. We'll try to keep you posted of that too. You sense that this over, the final one of Shiraz Khan, surely has to be one that Bertel attacks here. Slog sweep up towards the pavilion. Is that the option?
The ball is turning. There's a drift as well. I don't think that can be an option. Inside out can be an option.
Goes down the ground, but straight to long off. Doesn't carry. I think at first he thought it was coming straight to him. It's Bilal up there. Maybe just slightly miss hit off the toe of the bat. Gets away with it. Another single. And down the ground, the fast wrists of Dipendra Singh Airi at a venue he adores finally break the shackles. It's the first boundary in more than 10 overs, and it goes to Dipendra Singh Airi.
It was overpitched and really hit hard by Dipendra Singh Airi straight down the ground for a 6. They need plenty of those if they want to go to a respectable total.
Now goes to the slog sweep, well outside the line, so it's an easy decision for Rashid Riaz. They'll scamper through for what will be given as a leg bye. Where's that crowd come from? Looks like it's doubled or tripled in size in the last 20-30 minutes.
Yeah, they must have finished their work and came straight to the ground.
Great support. And now that's a big strike. That flies gloriously into the night sky. It's a big, big hit. And the ideal way, the most majestic way, in fact, to bring up the 100. And it is the big over. We speculated it was needed. And Nepal's fans, their 12th player, finally being brought into the contest.
It was not that overpitched, but it went out of the ground.
It's a big hit. Big hit from Kushal Bertel. That's up towards the car park. I hope our driver's car is okay up there. Don't want to be driving home with a smash window, Paresh, do we? Great support. Look at that. The entirety of this media centre is basically filled to the hilt, the main grandstand here. A great camera shot from our team. Hope you're enjoying the pictures and the coverage, and you're very welcome along to ICC TV, live and free every brawl of these 21 games. You've got the company of me here, Andrew Leonard, alongside Paresh Lahani, the former Nepal opening batter, former